أنتِ قُلتِ إنه جدّانِك اللي دخلوا الإسلام صحيح؟
أيوة.
طيب لمن يعني كيف تقبّلوا الأهل إنه يدخلوا الإسلام، فهمتِ؟ إنه
في أمريكا.
جدّانهم وجدّانهم أكيد يعني
امم.
انفجعوا من هذا القرار،
امم.
فكيف كانت هذه الخطوة بالنسبة إنه للمجتمع اللي كانوا عايشين فيه؟
امم.
فإيش إيش الإحساس أو إيش يسمونه؟ يعني
الstruggle.
أيوه، إيش الحواجز
Yeah.
اللي صارت لهم بسبب هذا القرار؟
What is the struggle for them
Yeah.
after they converted?
After they
صحيح،
converted. Yeah.
أيوه.
اوكي. لأن في مدينة ال LA فيها مسلمين كتير في especially في I'm not sure I'd say African American in
You
Arabic.
can.
Yeah, so
أفريقيين أمريكيين.
Yeah.
إيه نفس الشيء.
okay, so there are a lot of African American Muslims in LA. So there was already an established community there, and a lot of them were converting during the civil rights period. So because of that, when they had a whole community already, so when they did convert, of course, there might have been some conversation between like family members, like, what is it, and all that sort of thing. But once they understood, of course, there were some conflicts, but after understanding and knowing where they're coming from, they were okay with it. So yes, so because of that, it was easier because there was a big Muslim community, especially within the African Americans, especially within South California.
Okay.
So because of that, it was lessened a bit. It was a lot easier, but if you're like in a different state, it might have been a bit more difficult because a bit smaller community. But because California had a bigger African American in particular community, it was a lot easier for them. Yes.
السلام عليكم يا جماعة، كيف حالكم؟ ورجعنا لكم في حلقة جديدة من فقرات سولف مع نونو وكاتي. وفي حلقة اليوم عندنا ضيف جديد حنتعرف عليها مع بعض اليوم. So without further ado, let's welcome sis بينة. So عرفينا على نفسك، انت من وين and yeah.
طيب بالإنجليزي أو بالعربي؟
إيش
We
اللي
can mix.
يريحك؟
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, so my name is Bayana and I am 25 and I grew up in the US and from LA and I stayed there until I was 11 and then I moved to Malaysia I moved to Saudi when I was 11 and stayed there for 13 years straight. And then I went back and forth from the US and Saudi and ended up coming here for studying.
Oh, okay.
So yes.
What are you studying currently?
Right now I'm studying Islamic finance.
Okay.
Yes.
What made you step into that course or that world of Islamic finance?
The reason why I chose Islamic finance was because I've always been a finance nerd. My dad's an accountant.
Oh.
So he always used to leave his business books around the house. So I would read them.
Wow.
And I just loved watching the documentaries. But when it came to application, you know, there's in conventional finance, they have interest, they have things you can't use. So I actually went to college for business administration at first in the US. And then I quickly learned that I can't really apply everything that I'm learning. And as someone who loves finance and wants to apply finance, I was planning to actually come as a master's to learn Islamic finance, but ended up being bachelor's to finish my bachelor's, yes.
Well, are you planning on continuing masters?
Well, now since I'm doing it
Degree.
bachelor's,
Yeah.
I might do something else for my bachelor's, my master's.
Masters. Okay, that's interesting. I had a question in mind. I'm starting to get lost. You said about, Islamic finance. Okay, what made you choose Malaysia as an education destination?
Well, my father traveled to Malaysia before, a long time ago, and Malaysia is usually known for the Islamic finance too. So even back then, it was very famous for it. So I knew that I wanted to come here for either a master's, maybe I was thinking about maybe when I have my kids, hopefully in the future, because I want them to grow up in a Muslim environment. My parents did a very good job with that, even in the US. So I was thinking about what would be the best place for that. And I've always thought about Malaysia, especially since my dad spoke so highly of it.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I want to come here at some point. maybe it's going to be as a bachelor's, master's, but I knew I wanted to come here to see what it was like.
Okay. And how are you finding it so far?
Really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And she just arrived here, guy. Like
Yeah.
September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
3
she's
months
new
ago.
and she's already our guest in our podcast.
Yes.
So yay to that. Is it like diverse? Like the culture, is it diverse? Because there's a lot of multiple ethnicity in California.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So like I think that's one of the reasons why it was easy for people to like either convert or like be different from what they're used to, I guess, because of the different
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I think also as African Americans, we if we believe in something, if we align with something, it doesn't matter if the majority is making it difficult. If we believe in something, we'll go after it, and we believe in it no matter what the community or what the maybe the greater narrative is.
Yeah.
So that's a superpower I feel like we have as African Americans. If we want something, if we believe in something,
You have
we
the
align
vision.
with it.
Yeah. It's great. Okay. So going back to your parents or your family, after your parents were born Muslim, and what made them decide to come and move to Saudi? Was it for work, or is it just to get closer to the religion itself, to be around the Muslim community much more?
Okay, for going to Saudi, it was like a mixture of all those things because we actually had friends that already moved to Saudi and they spoke highly of it. And then my dad got a job in Saudi, so that was another incentive. And then we're Muslim,
Yeah.
that was another incentive. So it was quite easy for them to make the decision and take that leap of faith, and they did it. And I'm so happy that they did.
Alhamdulillah. So all of you guys were born in the US. Oh wait, so
Yeah.
they moved after you guys were born.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So as a born Muslim in a non-Muslim country, how was it? Was it easy to adapt, or was it difficult being surrounded by non-Muslims? What are the struggles did you face as a female Muslim with the hijab and whatnot? And I would say like maybe right now today is a bit easier compared to Zaman. So yeah, can you share us your story about what
Yes.
funny incident that you faced or something that it's like deeply in your heart that you were very touched by, or I wouldn't say traumatized you though, but yeah, something around that.
Yes. I mentioned before that my parents did a very good job with raising us. So what my parents did is they straight away put us in Muslim school. So in the US, there are lots of Muslim like elementary schools, Muslim middle schools, especially in California.
Oh,
So
wow.
I went to from kindergarten, I went to Muslim school, and they taught us Arabic. They taught us religious stuff and also like the conventional stuff as well. So I never grew up feeling like an other, which is what I really want for my kids because my parents did that for me. So wearing hijab was like normal for us. The only like time I'll get like anxious or something is when I would go outside
Stepping out of that
school.
community. Yeah.
Stepping outside the community. So I remember one time I was just like getting nervous for some reason, even though there was like nothing happening.
Yeah.
But it goes to show that I really think that if you feel like if you're raised in a way that made your if you're raised in a way that from your parents that made you feel like you're not an other, then you don't feel that way. And then because you behave that way, you don't, even if it's there, you don't see it.
Yeah.
So my parents did a really, really good job with that. And I would like to thank them for that.
Thank you, Baina's parents, for raising very confident young lady.
Yes.
Young lady, she's my age. But yeah, I think that's very good because a lot of people struggled in that field of being Muslim in a non-Muslim country, and you did not encounter any bad things happening to you.
I mean,
or
yeah,
did
of
you?
course. Of course there was.
Okay.
But because I had context to put it in or had my parents framed it for me well, which is why it's really good and really important to be a part of a community in a non-Muslim country.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that a lot of people that struggle a lot more are in places where there were little amount of Muslims or none. So luckily for us, we had a very strong community, especially the African American community in South Central Los Angeles. Every Friday, events all the time.
Okay.
So Ramadan, everything. So yes, also like all the other communities in California as well are the same. So because of that, you have a lot more strength, and you don't feel like you're another, which is going to help you with facing other people or facing some adversities that might be there, because you know you have a community behind you.
There's a strong support system, I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
أنت قلتي إنه أنت كبرتي من لما كنت صغيرة إلى عمرك 11 سنة.
أيوة.
بعدها انتقلتي إلى السعودية صح؟
صح.
يعني يعتبر 11 سنة مش مرة صغيرة، يعني خلاص عاقلة وفاهمة الحياة صح؟ طيب كيف كانت الانتقالية هذه إنك تنتقلي من بلد غير مسلم وشيء جديد عليكي إلى السعودية اللي فيها كلهم مسلمين، أشكال جديدة، يعني أشياء يعني
أيوة.
ثقافة جديدة. كيف كان الانتقالية هذه بالنسبة لك أنت؟ هل أثر عليكي؟
عندما سافرت من أمريكا إلى السعودية فيها أشياء صعبة. أولا الملابس، العباية ما هذا مرة صعب علي، عشان ما أعرف كيف أسوي عباية، ما أعرف أي شيء من الملابس. عشان في أمريكا في كل يوم في ملابس جديدة وزي كذا، بس مع العباية ممكن I forgot to say ألبس هذا عباية في ممكن واحدة.
Oh, you're wearing it once.
أيوة.
Okay.
So في كنت صغيرة أنا ألبس واحد عباية جديدة كل يوم. وهذا ما في صح.
أيوة.
بس واحدة، بس ما أعرف عشان هذا مختلفة للأمريكا. والطعام ما في مشكلة، أحب طعام.
so تاكلي كل شيء.
أيوة، بس اللغة هذا صعب علي شوية. عشان ما سكنت في كومباوند في الحي مرة في حي في السعودية. وكل إمارتي الشخص من السعودية كمان. so ممكن في مشكلة مع اللغة. so ما فهمتهم وما فاهمة أي شيء في هذا المكان. بس بعد شوية أنا كلمت معهم، وبعدين أنا أعرف كل شيء. بس هذا مرة صعب علي في البداية.
طيب كيف اللهجات معاك؟ اللهجات السعودية الحجازية، هل تحسي إنك تفهميها ولا في يعني شوية ميكس؟
كله مشاكل، عشان أستاذتي كل أستاذات من لبنان. وكنت أنا بنت صغيرة، أنا علمت فصحى، والحين أنا دحين في كنت وبعدين سكنت في السعودية. so كل اللهجات
ميكس.
أيوة مشاكل.
أوكي.
إلى الحين.
لا بس كويس إنه أنت لسه تفهمين يعني.
أيوة،
في ناس
كل
لما
شيء.
يكونوا دارسين حاجة ويدخلوا في عالم جديد، لهجة جديدة، ما
أيوة.
يقدروا إنهم يتأقلموا على المكان الجديد اللي بس أنت ما شاء الله عليك تفهمينه، يعني إيش قاعدين نقول. مش صعب يعني.
ما شاء الله.
أيوة بس I feel أحس
صح.
أحس لغتي ممكن 70% مو 100%.
بس 70% كثير.
مرة
كثير for what 13 years is
أيوة.
learning this much is quite good. وهي ما درست بمدرسة عربية guys، هي درست مع
أيوة
ناس
تحفيظ
ما شاء الله.
أيوة.
يعني هذا إنجاز أصلا مرة كبير إنه الواحد يتعلم العربي من تحفيظ
من
يعني.
تحفيظ. أيوة.
غير
أيوة.
يعني. أيوة.
إن شاء الله. أوكي. إيش الصعوبات اللي واجهتي لما اتعلمتي العربي؟ إيش الفرق بين، لأنه عربي في مذكر في مؤنث
قاعدات.
أي
أو نحن إلين دحين ترى ما نعرف.
أيوة أنا بالضبط.
ترى الستيل يعني
أنا
ما
التعريف.
الجملة الماضي
أوه
مرة صعب
مرة
علي.
صعب. yeah.
بس المضارع سهل،
أيوة
مستقبل سهل.
سهل.
بس وعندي مشكلة مع ممكن نسيت الكلمات. عشان الحين أتكلم مع من رأسي ما في من قلبي. ممكن في رأسي أنا في جملة في إنجليزية بعدين
ترجميها.
أيوة ترجمة
ياخذ وقت. يب
أيوة صح صح.
بالعربي.
نفسه نحن كمان زي كذا نحن.
أيوة أبغى أتكلم عربي بطلاقة
أكثر.
أكثر شيء.
هو العربي لازم له ممارسة كثير، هو مو نفس الإنجليزي أحس إنه أنت تتعلميها وتروحي تتكلميها سهل، بس العربي إذا ما مارستيها مع أي شخص يتكلم عربي
أيوة
صعب
صح.
تنسين الكلمات، لأنه العربي ما شاء الله كل كلمة أصلا تلاقي إنه فيها معنى كثير، فإذا ما مارستيها تنسينها.
صح.
فعشان كذا يعني ممكن تمارسيها معانا إن شاء الله في المستقبل
الله.
كمان. فيا طيب عندي سؤال، طيب أهل في البيت كيف اللغة معاكم؟ هل هو إنكم تتكلموا بس إنجليزي أو ميكس عربي أو في أشياء ثانية؟
مشاكل عشان أيوة
لا عادي.
أوكي.
كمل.
أيوة في عائلتي أتكلم عربي وإنجليزي بس أكثر إنجليزي.
إنجليزي أكثر.
إنجليزي
ممكن ممكن زي كده يا sister can I get something من الثلاجة.
يعني
ممكن ممكن زي كده.
أوكي still يعني في.
So your main language is English. بس في أي لغات ثانية your family speak؟
لا بس
Just
إنجليزي.
and
ممكن في البيتي من ممكن في أمريكا إسباني عشان في في كاليفورنيا في الشخص الإسباني والمكسيكي.
hablas español.
Sí.
Sí. Okay,
You catch the words from the people.
Yes.
But you don't converse it a lot.
Yeah, no, because ما في شخص إسباني في
Okay.
ماليزيا.
I wanted to get excited to speak Spanish with her. I thought I was going to get a new Spanish friend.
learning.
Yeah, same.
لا كس درست لغة الإسباني في مدرسة
أيوة.
بس بعد طويل.
Yeah, because أيوة ما في أحد تتكلمي معاه.
صح.
Yeah. زي أنا دحين قاعدة أتعلم إسباني.
أيوة.
So it's very difficult for me to practice it. يعني فجأة like my sister would call me and I'm like, see, ¿qué quieres? What do you want? And then she's like, okay, so what are we doing today? So I would just blab it to her and she was like, catch some words. I was like, okay, are you talking about this? And it's just very difficult because there's no one to talk with. Same like with you in Arabic, like you want to speak it and you want to talk to someone, but you don't have anyone around you to practice the language. And learning new languages, you have to just speak it, you know? You don't have to think about whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Just as long as people understand you, then خلاص.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, I have a lot of Saudi friends, and I speak to them Arabic.
They speak English.
Yeah. I was like, I need أبغى تدريب, but they're like أبغى تدريب
too.
كمان.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be like talking to them, and they'll be like English.
Yeah, switching back. Yeah, Uno reverse.
Yeah, I'm like, keep on trying to put down the Uno reverse card.
That's fun though, yani, because you grew up in a very quite a multi-diverse like your life. So in California, like you said, there's a lot of Hispanics, like Mexicans, right? And then you go to Saudi, you mix with the Saudis, and not just Saudis, you mix with Lebanese, you mix with Deshamin, and then you're here in Malaysia, and now you're exposed with Malaysians.
Yeah.
Exposed with Thai girl. So mixed culture.
Yes.
So okay, but growing up in multiple like how do you say multiple culture, environments زي كذا, have you felt like you are out of place?
I did before, but luckily, okay, I did before. So I felt like, because when I was going to the US, sometimes I'll be like, oh, where are you from? And then when I go to Saudi, oh, where you're from? Or and I was like, and then when I go to the US, I'm like back home and I mean Saudi. And when I'm in Saudi, when I say back home, I mean the US. So it's all mixed together.
Yeah.
But what helped was knowing that being multicultural is an identity in itself. So before I was just like, I'm confused. I don't know. But after that, I felt like, I think I saw this video of this woman online and she was born in Mexico. She was Korean.
Oh.
And then she also was like, lived in the US for a bit. And so she felt like she was all mixed. But then she was like, you know what? I feel most at home with other multicultural people because it's kind of like, even if we're from different places, we have that multicultural experience that weaves us together.
I agree.
So because of that, I was like,
Yeah.
I relate to that. So I'll take that too. Just feeling like, okay, I'm multicultural. I have multiple different homes. I'm a global citizen, not just from one place. And because of that, you can not feel out of place anymore because the whole world is your home. So, yes.
When you moved to Saudi, what is a funny incident that you faced when you were there?
Okay, not like the only thing I can remember is not knowing because you know bukhur,
Yeah.
like the
The smoke, yeah.
like I didn't know when to like, you know how sometimes you can put it on yourself, and then I didn't know when to do it, when not to do it, because sometimes I just put it.
There and then you just do like that, right? Yeah.
So this person was going around with bukhur, and I was like, what situation is it? I was like, do I do like this or do I just leave it? And then I did it, and everyone's like, I was like, okay, that wasn't the right time. So that's like the main one that's sticking out to me right now. I guess it's because it smells good in here.
Yeah. Okay, like a funny encounter, like people mistaking you for a local or
I
speaking
actually
with you.
Like for some reason, in Saudi, I never get mistaken for African American ever.
Yeah.
I think it's because if it's like a simple conversation, nobody can tell.
Yeah.
Usually they can tell like maybe I'm not from there, but they don't think anything of it. They either think I'm Sudanese or Habashi.
Oh, okay.
So I remember I was in the airport and I was going back home to the US.
Yeah.
And right here was a Habashi flight. Here was the American flight. And this flight was going away. Okay. So then like everyone started coming towards me, started taking my bags, and they're like, our flight is leaving. Our flight is leaving. And I was like, no, I'm not
with you guys.
And they're like, what do you mean? Like, come on. I was like, no, guys, I'm going over here. And they're like, what do you mean? Oh. I was like, yeah, guys, I'm not sorry. And they're like, okay. And they give me my bags back. That was so funny because that's not the first time it happened.
Oh.
Like, that happened like twice. Yeah, or if I'm going to Sudan, like even in here in this country, if I'm just sitting, Sudanese people come up to me, be like, "Oh, where are you from? Blah blah blah. What part of Saudi are you from?" I was like, "I'm not actually."
أمريكية?
أنا أمريكية بس سكنت. And they're like, "Oh, okay." So usually getting mistaken for
Yeah.
other.
Okay. Other nationality. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like for I would say like for maybe I would say us maybe in Saudi like right now.
Yeah.
Zaman maybe they would say like okay she's Asian, but right now because there's a lot of like different culture in marriages and all that. So there's like the Bukhari family, and then there's like a lot like the Zaman family where they're actually Malaysians or Indonesians who grew up in Saudi, but they have the Saudi nationality and they're married to Saudi. So it's like a mix of blood. So sometimes they would think that I am originally Saudi. Yeah, but no. Coming back to like, no, yes, I'm Asian, but I'm not that Asian. Not that part of Asia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about Malaysia. You just arrived about 2 months ago. 3?
Yes.
I'm bad at maths. So 3 months
Yes.
ago. how did you find the country to be like? Did you come with your parents? Did you come alone?
Of course, I came with my family.
Yeah.
So especially, so I really enjoyed it. I was really happy because during orientation week, I had my family with me. So experience culture shock, go back home.
Yeah.
Experience more culture shock, discuss.
Yeah.
All like that. So
What is
it
the
was
culture shock that you first saw or experienced here in Malaysia?
I guess coming from Saudi, like I remember admit I think and it was like the first episode of this podcast.
Oh.
You guys were mentioning like the gender.
Gender separation.
Yes. So like I'm used to that in America because I'm used to it. But then Saudi, I got used to not.
Yeah. And then you come here and then you're used to back.
So it was like whiplash. I was like, at first I was like, okay.
Okay.
Especially because I think when people think Muslim country, they think like strict or something, which is not always the case, and I don't think it is nowadays. So I was thinking, okay, there's going to be gender separation and stuff, and then orientation was not. I was like, oh, well, it was fine. I was used to it. I got used to it pretty quickly, but that was something that I wasn't expecting at first. A culture shock. Getting used to. I mean, it wasn't a bad culture shock, but the food was so good.
Oh, you're very experimental with food, I'd say.
Yes, I am. I like
Okay.
trying everything.
So you didn't find the food to be a bit difficult for you to try here?
No.
No. No. What?
I'm adventurous, so that's even my friends say you're doing too much sometimes.
Do you eat spicy food?
I'll try it I'll try it
Okay.
one time.
Oh, you can try. So
Yeah.
you can you deal with it?
I can sometimes. Depends on the restaurant.
Depends on the spiciness.
the restaurant.
The restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes if I go to like this place, they'll put it super spicy for no reason, and then if I'm going this
okay.
place, it's mild, so I
Alright.
can handle it.
So
yes.
what Malaysian food have you tried so far?
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Centol.
Chendol.
Chendol.
Chendol. Okay, C in Malay is pronounced ch.
Okay.
CH.
Chendol.
So even chili is spelled CILI.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So yes, so it'll be easier for you to read. Yeah, it's chendol. Oh, you like chendol?
Yes, I tried that. I really liked it. And also, I tried things I don't even know the name of, which my parents would be probably like, you need to know the name of it.
Well, what does it look like so we
But
can?
it was like a warm, it said it was for breakfast.
Nasi lemak? Rice?
No, it was like porridge or something.
Oh, bubur ko.
And it had like colorful,
Yellow? Is it yellow?
yes.
Lontong.
Okay.
Is it that one?
I think so.
Okay.
Because-
Lontong with like rice cubes and there's like
yeah.
tempeh and
Yes.
vegetables. I had that today for breakfast. Okay.
I like that. I'm like down for anything, to be honest. Obviously, nasi lemak. Obviously, I like it. Nasi goreng. I have friends that like to cook too, so I'm like, let's go. Show me what's up. Like, yes.
That's cool. Okay. It's very good that you are one of the people that like to explore. So like if you go from one place to another, you don't feel like you're in like inside a box.
No,
You know,
I
you're
feel
not
like
closed
if
up.
I'm gonna come all the way to a different country,
You have
I
to
don't like eating American food because I'm like if I'm coming all the way here, I should like not eat it.
Yeah. What does your mom mostly cook in the house?
Mostly, honestly, like stews. We're very healthy,
Oh.
so like stews, salads. Because Californian food is like healthy, to be honest.
Okay.
Depends. There's like
That side and that,
that
side.
side. Yes. So my parents on this side.
Okay.
So healthy foods, lots of even Arab food like kapsa. So it's like a whole mix in our house.
Okay.
Like we'll try biryani or yeah.
That's
So that I like to cook too. So yes.
think we found our type of people.
أخيرا لأنه عادة الطلاب لما يجون لمدينة جديدة
أيوة.
ما يتقبلون يعني خلاص إنهم هم مثلا جايين من السعودية أنا ما أكل إلا الشيء اللي أنا متعود عليه فلما يجوا هنا البهارات غير الروائح الأكل مرة غير فما يعني تلاقي طلاب أكثرهم إنه الأكل الماليزي مش حلو هو مو حلو، هو لانه انت ما اقنعت نفسك او انه ما حطيت في المايند سيت حقك انه هذا اكل دولة ثانية، انت لازم تجرب وتعرف. وهو كمان الاكل الماليزي على حسب الاماكن،
أيوة
هو
صح.
مش كل الاماكن حلو ومش كل الاماكن مو حلو. فاحيانا يجربون حاجة اكلة معينة، خلاص هذه الاكلة ما هي حلوة، لا انت لازم تجربها نفس الاكلة في مكان ثاني عشان يتغير عندك الفكر انه اوه لا، في ناس يعني كثير يطبخونه غير يعني. فبس انت يعني انت غير يعني اول واحدة
أول واحدة اللي تجرب كل
انه
شيء.
كل شيء
Yeah.
حلو عاجبها يعني، فمرة غريب يعني. بس كويس برضو يعني لانه ما تتعبي نفسك،
أيوة صح.
ما تكوني مرة بيكي كده انه لا انا ما اكل هذا وما اكل هذا يعني، فشيء حلو.
Yes.
Are you allergic to anything?
No, thank God.
What is the weirdest food or combo that you have tried?
Combo because I'm in a very international community right now. There's this Cambodian dish that one of my classmates made, and she gave it to me because she knew I liked I like to try different things. I forgot. She didn't tell me the name. Again, my parents would be like, "You need to know." But it was like a rice pudding. They have black beans, and they put it's like sweet, and the beans are like savory. Yeah, my friends were like, you want to have the whole thing?" I was like, "Yes." So that was an interesting combination I haven't never seen before.
Okay.
Chendol was also a different, but I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you open to trying durian?
Yes, I've been trying actually.
You've tried it.
No, I've been trying.
You've been
because
trying to try it.
My friend was telling me don't get it now because it's not in season.
Yeah.
So she was like, wait till it's in season. And then I know like they said D24 is the best for beginners.
D24 yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, got it. So I'm like waiting for the season. And I'm like, all right.
Even though it seems like just a fruit, but what's complex about durian is that there is different names of it.
Yeah.
And each name tastes different. Like there's one that tastes very bitter and hard. Those are the ones that you would find in the supermarket. It's not really delicious, but there are ones that is like buttery and sweet and like very, very nice. Like it's very, how do I describe it? Have you tried like mochi?
Yeah, I love mochi.
Okay, imagine like mashallah.
ما هو نفس الموتشي.
Okay, I wouldn't say the same as mochi. Like, okay, I don't know how to similarity, but it's like imagine something like it's very creamy and buttery and sweet. Yeah, those are the different kind of So and there's one that comes in the middle, bitter, hard but soft and sweet. Oh, those are the best. And yeah, sometimes actually very expensive. There are ones that is then can cost up to like 100 plus, even though for like one fruit. But one fruit has like multiple seeds in it. So yeah, if an advice, this is from me lah. If you want to look for like a good stalls, the one that is like on the street area, look for a Chinese seller.
Okay.
A Chinese seller that they know how to pick the right durian.
صحيح.
صحيح?
Okay.
Yeah. Can try going.
كلنا نجرب. ايش رايكم يوم نطلع
Yeah, I was thinking about
نسوي
that.
فلوج عليه.
Yeah, with your DJI and I bring my DJI.
first time trying.
It will be
Yes.
fun. أنا من زمان
Also,
ما أكلت.
I would like to say,
Yeah.
like, if أي شخص تحبون الفواكه هذا البلد مرة كويسة.
مرة
like فيك فواكه مرة حلو. نحب مرة dragon fruit,
Yeah.
papaya, lychee.
Mangosteen.
I haven't tried durian.
Okay,
Durian,
mangosteen.
yeah.
Have you tried?
No.
Mangosteen is
أغسطين
good.
رمبوتان.
Rambutan.
Yes, so I'm so pleased when I see like go to the grocery store and I see the fruit section. I'm like, oh, this is like the best.
You should walk around in the village grocery below
Yeah.
to see the options.
As a fan, because if like for example, when I first moved here to Malaysia, I was like still going through the ups and downs of being an international student at first, and every single international student describes having homesickness, getting used to different cultures and everything. So when this podcast first started, I was there for the first episode, which I'm so proud of.
I got our number one point.
So basically, I remember watching. I was like, "Oh my god, this is multicultural, Saudi, Malaysia, education." I was like,
All at once.
"What?" I was like, "What's the chances I find this specific
Yeah.
podcast?" So I was like, I watch every episode. So as a fan, I want to ask, like, what is the most interesting thing about doing this podcast? Most rewarding thing and most challenging thing that gave you like growth, because there's no challenge that is bad. All challenges give you something,
صح.
so everything is good.
Yeah. You?
انتي جاوبي.
Rock paper scissors.
لا انتي بعدين انا بدخل عليه.
I would say, okay, before I forget, one challenge that had a positive outcome for her is that she stepped out of her comfort zone.
صح اوكي.
Many
Okay.
people who know her, like recently we went back to our university for a convocation. Many people were like, "Oh, Khadija, we didn't know that you were gonna be like this," blah, 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 because she's very quiet. She was a very introvert person. She you wouldn't see her on camera talking, laughing, asking questions. She's like
حتى
that in real.
بالانستغرام ترى انا ما انزل لا صوتي ما احب يعني ما احب.
نفس أنا.
ايوه يعني ما.
But yeah, and then at first I started like working with Omni like alone, solo. And then I'm like, okay, let's drag her in with me. Right. So when we started the podcast, I'm like, okay, this will be a very nice way of like sharing with the people our experience as an international person, student. And she also managed to like, I would say, a growth for her, because I have been always on camera ever since I was young. I was comfortable talking to people and stuff, but it was new for her. So I saw like how positive it was for her to be able to even talk in live hosting as well. So yeah, a lot of things new for her happened this year. And what was the first question that you asked? I went to the last question.
Like, also, what was like an interesting experience or a positive one?
Positive experience. I say a part of my bucket list dream have been checked by the
Yeah.
my English is hard now.
No, ما في مشكلة.
Has been checked off the list. Is
أيوة.
that how you say it? Okay. My sister's gonna bash me because I always make mistakes in English grammar. Yeah. So
And me in Arabic.
and you in Thai.
كله.
No, but yeah, it's a very. Me and Khadija, we've always had a dream of like having our own channel, cooking show and stuff like that. So I'd say alhamdulillah, with this podcast opportunity, we are able to share our stories with people and expose them to new environment and new misconceptions about where we grew up in, and also get to know more people who are like us. Like, we did not know that we're gonna find like a mixture of Malaysians who have different backgrounds. We thought we had mixed background, but no, there are people who had more cocktail background. And then finally we met you as well, like a background of American, and then you grew up in Saudi, and now you're in Malaysia. So that's also very new. We're able to show that to people and give exposure to people like us who are not alone,
Yes.
who are special. No?
Multicultural.
Multicultural.
Kings
yeah,
and
yeah.
queens.
Yes. You?
أحس هذه التجربة خلتنا نحن نعلم جزء كبير من الناس اللي ما يعرفوا إنه العربية ترى سهلة. هي مشكلتها إنه أنت كيف تفكر إنه العربية إذا أنت فكرتها صعبة هي حتكون صعبة. وحتى اللغات الثانية إذا أنت تريد تتعلم دخلت في العراق الحين إذا تبغى تتعلم أي لغة لا تحط في بالك إنه هي صعبة. فأنت لو تسهلها يتسهل معك. فأتوقع أنا لما فتحنا هذا البرنامج أو سوينا هذا القناة شفنا إنه في كثير حسوا إنه العربية سهلة، بالذات إنه هم ما كانوا يعرفوا إنه في لغة عامية أو لهجة عامية أو مدري يعني، بس فاهمين إنه الفصحى هي صعبة. هو صحيح ترى الفصحى صعبة شوية يعني بالنسبة للناس اللي ما كبروا بالفصحى. فنحن لما دخلنا في هذا المجال دخلنا إنه ترى العربية مرة سهلة، أنتوا خدوها ببساطة. سولفوا تكلموا. ترى العربية حتى لو غلطتوا تترجع يعني عادي، يعني حتى لو كلشتي فرحانة تكلش مرة كثير بس ما حد ينتبه، لأنه خلاص إنه مفهوم الكلمة. فهمتي كيف؟ الجملة تكون زي ما هي، اللهم إنه الكلمة بس اللي فيها شوية غلط يعني. فأحس من هذه التجربة اللي نحن سويناها قاعدين نفيد ناس مرة كثير من حول العالم ما شاء الله. يعني حتى وصلنا للصومال، في واحدة كانت تقول إنه أنا صومالية، يعني أنا ما كنت يعني أنا حدي كنت أحس إنه بس في كيل ما حد حيعرفنا يعني. بس الحمد لله دحين أي مكان نحن نروح كلهم تحسي إنه في بنات يعني قاعدين يمثلون السعودية بشكل مرة كويس، لأنه هم منظورهم عن السعودية شيء ونحن لما جينا قدمنا شيء تاني يعني. وكمان أنا بقول إنه ترى نحن ما نمثل أحد، نحن نمثل نفسنا، بس نحن قاعدين نمثل التجربة اللي أنا عشتها 20 سنة في السعودية. كانت تجربة إيجابية، فأنا لما بجيبها هنا بجيبها إنه هي تجربة إنه كانت حلوة وهي اللي خلتني أنا الحين كذا. لو أنا ما كنت متربية على العادات العربية أو الثقافات العربية أو أي حاجة أنا ما كنت أنا دحين. فهذا الشيء كان مرة يعني خلاني أنا أطلع من مكاني وأوري للناس أنا كيف يعني. لأنه أنا دائما كنت أحس نفسي إنه يعني مو ولا شيء، بس إنه ما في أي هدف. فهمتي كيف؟ أيوة يعني في الجامعة أنا جيت من السعودية لماليزيا عشان أدرس وأرجع، خلاص هذا أنا هدفي كان. بس ما توقعت إنه أنا لما أجي أسوي هذا البرنامج في ناس كثير حتستفيد مني. فهمتي كيف؟ مع إنه فهمتي كيف؟ فهمتي كيف؟
her tagline
على الأقل تفهمون كلمة فهمتي كيف يعني. فهذه التجربة خلتني مرة يعني أتغير وأنهي 2025 بشيء مرة كويس، لأنه دائما ما شاء الله أحط لستة أشياء أسويها السنة الجاية يلا نشيلها معانا السنة الجاية. فإن شاء الله هذه السنة كانت سنة جدا مليئة بالتجارب وسوينا أشياء مرة كثيرة. وأيضا هذه التجربة حق البودكاست قربتني أكثر لفرحانة، يعني صرنا أقرب
حتى وهذا وأنا ناسي عيد ميلادها
عادي يعني بسلك لها يعني عادي. فخلت هذه التجربة تقربنا أكثر يعني. نحن كنا بس فقط يعني صحبات ونتقابل يلا مرة بالسنة لأنها ساكنة بعيد وأنا ساكنة بعيد يعني. فهذه التجربة خلتنا نحن نفهم بعض أكثر، مع إنه بعض الأحيان هي تنسى أشياء عني يعني
شيء واحد
فيا هذا الشيء يعني اللي خلانا نحن كذا يعني. بس والله هذا هو يعني.
طيب
because because we met in uni, so we did
Mm-hmm.
not expect that our relationship would
حنكبر مع بعض يعني.
صح.
6 سنين مرة كبرنا مع بعض يعني. أنا تزوجت وهي صارت كذا يعني.
I thought she would leave me after she got married, you know. But now like I have her more.
أنت اللي لازقة فيني.
يلا
نروح نشتغل تسحبني معاها، يلا نروح نسوي يلا تسحبني
I would
معاها.
randomly call her while I'm doing work. What do you want? Just do work with me.
يعني نحن يعني كل واحد حياته.
That's sweet.
Oh, we're very clingy.
مع إنه أنا أكبر منها بكثير بس يلا عادي.
3 سنين أنت متى عجوزة
يا
صراحة.
أخي 3 سنين، مواليد 2000 ومواليد 98 مرة فرق كثير.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
I wanted to ask, actually, I forgot this. I mean, I didn't forget it, but I think I will slot this in the middle of the podcast.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about something Islamic. يعني, what are the struggles that you encountered when you try to practice Islam? Like, for example, okay, in Saudi, you can pray anywhere. In Malaysia, there are musallas and all that. Surau. Yes. Okay. I wanted to say surau, but I'm like, okay, musalla.
Okay.
Oh, you got it. So back in America, what are the things that you found that you find did you find hard in terms of praying or taking wudu or stuff like that?
Mostly prayer, because like finding a place to pray, or like maybe because in Saudi, like I remember we traveled back to the US for vacations and we're used to being able to pray anywhere. And I remember that we're in a park and we just started to pray because عادي, you know, في Saudi هذا مرة عادي صح? So we did it and then we're like, oh, that's not the best place, because usually parks or public places are supposed to be like neutral places. And so like as I was praying, I was hearing this person say like, why are they praying in the park? Like this is supposed to, like, why are they doing that? I was like, we're just so used to Saudi that we just prayed, but we finished, so it was fine. But yeah, like so finding a place to pray, wudu, like finding a place to do wudu, like feeling shy to do it. and also like maybe the opposite gender not understanding, like I don't want to shake hands or hug
yeah.
them
صح.
or get too close. I'm just more conservative, I guess, when it
Yeah.
comes to that.
Okay.
Yeah, but luckily, the good thing about at least my state in particular, and I feel like Americans, is that once they understand, or even if they don't, they understand boundaries. For the most part. But yeah, so especially I'm just very fortunate to be part of the state that I'm from because
Yeah.
we're chill.
Okay, good.
We're super chill.
LA people are chill.
Yeah, we are. We're super chill. Like even like my non-Muslim friends would be like, "Isn't it prayer time?" I was like, "Oh, is it?"
That's cool.
So yes, yeah. So they're familiar with it, but when you're traveling, it's difficult because you're trying to find a place to pray, trying to do wudu. Also, I was getting in so much trouble. I'm sorry. Okay, oh, because in Saudi, كله طعام والشراب
حلال.
حلال.
Oh.
I got so used to it. I remember I was in the grocery store. I was like putting things in my cart, and my grandma was taking things out of the cart.
Okay.
Because I wasn't used, because I love candy. I love gummy candy.
Oh.
That's
Gluten.
mushkila.
Gelatin, yeah.
Mushkila. Because usually that has pork in it.
Yeah.
Or like even like pizzas. Like even if it's not on top, it might be under the cheese. I was so spoiled.
Okay.
And I usually, and I can't just try things like I would in other countries. That was a problem. I'll get in trouble because I want to try everything. Someone says, eat this. I'm like, yes. And I was
Okay.
like, wait, I have to ask, is there anything haram or anything halal or
Yeah.
something? So yeah, that's a bit interesting. So that's hard for me as a foodie. As you can tell, I'm a huge foodie. So yes, that was difficult. Okay.
أيوة يلا قولي لي إيش أكلتي إيش سويتي أمس.
أمس بس رحت للنهدي رياضة. والأكلت شاورما فيها مطعم لبني قريب لجامعتي. سو أكلت هون في ساعة واحدة.
الظهر.
لا بالصباح.
خلاص.
واو.
عشان أصدقائي
يحبوا يطلعوا بالليل.
أيوة، عشان في كل يوم في فصول كتير. وبعدين سويت واجب، وبعدين رحت للنهدي رياضة في الليل، وبعدين أكلتي. أيوة.
أوكي نايس. هذه الحياة الجامعية أصلا.
أيوة، بس ما أبغى أسوي هذا. إن شاء الله من هذه الوقت في المستقبل أنا نوم.
أوكي.
نوم في الليل.
تنامي في الليل.
I'm a podcast person. I usually like watching anything to do with women's self-development because I love women's stuff. I love us as women.
Okay.
So I always love watching podcasts that helps women become their best selves, go after their dreams, which is why I like you guys. And I really appreciate it. And I had a question. I was like, what advice would you give to girls that want to do that? But anyway, I like Alexis Smith. She has a podcast on YouTube called it's called Alexis. And she's talking about women's self-development, women's like how women can gain financial freedom. Finance nerd, as you could see. Also, there's another one. Her name is Bahja. She's an African American. She's a Somali American YouTuber who's a Muslim, and she talks about the same thing, but from a faith-based perspective. So that's really nice to see it tied in with faith as well, which is why it's Islamic finance.
Okay.
So I just love the topics because I feel like as women we are the heads of a family because we're taking care of the family.
Yeah.
We're like partnership. Also, we have like so much to give and so much impact we can give. So it's nice to be able to learn how to become our best selves, go after our dreams, and that gives permission for other women to do the same. And yes, I feel like that's such an important topic. So I love any podcast that's about that. Also general podcasts. Like I like Jay Shetty sometimes.
Okay.
On purpose, I think, because you get to see different people's perspectives, like in this podcast. And my favorite one has to be Omni Malaysia. So nice. It has like, you can see different cultures that are mixed with Saudi. I'm not mixed with Saudi, but like mixed with Saudi like
Culture.
Yes.
Yes.
So seeing so many different people with different experiences from different places is very unique, because I feel like when we're in Saudi, we don't see them as
Yeah.
often. But then you're like, oh my God, actually we are there.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
It was very nice meeting you, inshallah. We'll have you again soon to talk more, debate session
Yes.
more, inshallah. So yeah,
Excited.
microphone to Kadi.
وبكذا خلصت حلقتنا الحلوة مع بينة. إن شاء الله تكون عجبتكم الحلقة، وإذا حابين إنكم تتعرفون عليها أكثر أو تبون نجيبها في الحلقات الجاية عشان يعني نتناقش، لأن هي تحب المناقشات، اكتبوا لنا في التعليقات تحت، ولا تنسوا تتابعونا على السوشيال ميديا. إيش كمان؟
سووا لنا سبسكرايب، أنت دائما تنسي.
ايوه صح، لانه انا انسى يا اخي يا جماعه. ها
Subscribe,
ترانا نشوفكم. ها
subscribe.
واكتبوا لنا اذا عندكم اي مواضيع حابين انه نحن نتكلم فيها يعني بالمستقبل، او اي حاجه تبغونا نسولف فيها مع الضيوف اللي نحن حنجيبهم مستقبلا.
اوكي، واذا انتم حابين برضو تدخلون البودكاست كضيف، DM us anytime. We read your messages and we inshallah we will go through your application and bring you in.
صح.
Before that, let's have the chance to shout out your channel if you'd like to share with them.
Okay. So I do have a channel called @LittleMintBayna, and the channel is dedicated to the international experience in Malaysia, also about personal development topics and everything of that sort. So if that's your vibe,
Be sure to follow her, guys. Yeah.
تابعوها وادعموا مشروعها.
This is the pop-up
وحسابها.
of the YouTube channel. I'm gonna pop it up here.
اوكي خلاص.
Yeah.
يلا.
So we'll see you guys بالحلقات الجاية إن شاء الله.
مع السلامه.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.